Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of iCast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure. We be pirates, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Harkon,
Maximus Shuns,
Ataraxia Kalian,
unconscious Buster.
with Buster barely being stabilized, taken to the quote-unquote infirmary, which Max interpreted as the crow's nest with him, alone, after being possessed by this evil heart. What will happen on this week's episode of iCast Fireball? Let's find out right now. Max, you have taken Buster up to the crow's nest.
Yes.
It's going to take an hour for him to gain 1 hit point. But as you have some time to dwell, to think about Buster, his actions, your actions, the hag's actions, and just what destiny and fate, how they smile at you at random times, it seems. What are you thinking about while Buster is recovering here?
Well, Max is going to first, once they reach the crow's nest, he's going to tie up Buster to the mast.
Cool.
And he will tie in such a way that will also incorporate his hands and his fingers so that they can't move.
So this isn't a hog tie, it's a wizard tie.
Yep.
a
So
hair
his
tie.
tongue somewhere tied in there. Oh, inspiration!
Yeah, cool, great.
Okay.
Works for me.
The real reason why I'm giving him inspiration is because I'm wearing glasses right now, and Ned is also wearing glasses right
What about Josh?
That is-
Josh wears glasses
I do this every
Josh is
week,
unconscious.
every day. I can't read street signs without them on my face.
now. Can you imagine if that was just like my reasoning
Yeah.
for inspiration?
Was it
and
not?
Mickey just put her glasses on.
This feels like
Gosh. My
I
glasses
had
are in
them
the
the
other
whole
room. I
time.
put
They
them
were
on
for
if I
sure
had them.
here the whole time.
Yes, those pink love heart glasses, definitely.
It's Taylor
Sorry to
Swift's
disrupt.
sunglasses, right?
Sorry to
Maybe.
disrupt. For real inspiration to Ned, but hog-tied, hair-tied.
Hair tied.
All right. Max will also, as he's thinking about what to do in this situation, he's also going to actually go up to Buster and very gingerly, not ruffling it too much at all, he will take his scarf off and just examine it. Like, start looking at it, because I've never really looked at it up close before.
So, Max, as you examine the red scarf, you see like some. It's not like pristine clean, right? You catch like a few like seeds that have like got caught in there from wind blowing across your journeys as you've investigated Rickety Haig's Isle and things like that. There's a little debris stuck in this scarf, and it's quite intricate.
Are there any specific, like, images or patterns that are on it?
Josh,
I mean,
what would he see?
It's all written in like a very specific, like script that's like an analog for probably some form of common, but is very specific to like his family, and like so like they developed it as like a way to briefly write big long spells, and then they translated it into fabric for the fact that it would just last longer than a page in the life that they lived, and that works out for him at sea as well.
So does it talk about family, or does it mention, like, what is it saying?
No, it's his spell book, essentially. Like the whole scarf is just his spell book.
Gotcha.
And it probably has more spells than he knows how to use yet at this point. But yeah, it's kind of it's something that yeah, I don't want to go into the details about it, I guess, because I don't need to, but it seems like it's been made by someone like very well made.
But you can clearly see that there are certain sections or certain like groupings of words that seem to be better designed than other designs, and almost like some of them that are a little bit older,
Yeah.
more worn as well as you get further down the scarf. But it's long. I mean, it's really long.
Okay.
And there is blank space. Like, there is room for more, like, to be added.
Okay. Max will kind of hang on to that, not pocketing it or anything, just holding it. And what he'll do, he's not going to wait the whole hour for Buster to pop up with 1 hit point. He is going to direct his crossbow toward Buster. His ballista crossbow. Just like aiming it at him. And what I'm going to do, just in this order, is I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Buster. And then my next action, and forevermore, I will ready an action to shoot Buster if necessary.
Okay. Buster, you get a surge of life or alertness into your body, and you go, and you feel very disoriented as you come to here.
You get 4 hit points.
4 hit points. 1, you feel very cold for a variety of reasons. You've had permanent damage to your constitution. You still have like a cold, aching spot in your chest where the heart was. Also, you don't have your scarf around your neck.
Ooh.
And you're in a windy crow's nest right now. So just new information, new stimuli, like over and over and over and over until finally you look up, and just as you're about to object, you see Max in front of you with a crossbow, like, 6 inches from his chest, something like that?
I definitely think he's slow to speak. I don't think he's too groggy to, like, be jumping for a fight at present.
Max will just say, "Who made this for you?"
Okay. What's happening? What's going on? Oh, man. He's gonna, like, kind of open his eyes a little wider and go, okay. Hi, Max. My mom made that scarf.
For you.
Yeah?
I can tell it was made with love. As he's just like looking it over, but still like holding the crossbow with the finger on the trigger.
Good job. Yeah. It is very observant. I think she does love me, or did, or maybe does still.
Max kind of tilts his head a little bit, somewhat agitated, and just, "All right. Buster, I don't know if we can trust you anymore."
For real? Okay. I mean, listen. Honestly, yeah, I can't blame you. But also, I mean, come on.
I mean, you did just levitate and, like, roll your
I
head
did?
back in your eyes. Oh, yeah.
All right.
It was...
Zero memory of any of that. Like, that's... I do know that... I do understand that, Meredith was not all that she said she was, and I was very wrong. Very clearly wrong. And, you know, egg on my face, I guess. But, I mean, come on, man. We're a little cut of the same cloth. Like, I may have done something to lose your trust through honest intent. But at no point was I trying to deceive you. Man, I got taken along by Meredith as much as everybody else. You're not the same case. Like, listen, you got me by the strings. Like, I got no, sink me. I've been bilged by my own anchor. This is, I got nothing left here. And honestly, I feel really foolish about everything. I feel like I screwed things up. I want to make it right if I can, if I survive. But ultimately, man, like, you lied. Openly, comfortably. And I don't even know. Like, I don't even know the truth of what happened. I just know you lied and didn't care to tell anybody. And, like, that was weird. You don't got to tell me. You got your secrets, fine. But I didn't lie. You want to cast Zone of Truth on me? Do it. Fine. Go ahead. The most I can do is shape water in this current state.
Buster, when I say I don't know if I can trust you, it's not that I think you're lying. Yes, I did lie to you. But you got taken for a fool. And that doesn't happen always unwillingly. You trusted her over us and openly questioned the captain. Not questioned, that's the wrong word. The captain wants us, and he's kind of almost thinking to himself, the captain wants us to ask questions. You defied him. You don't have good judgment.
I just want to reiterate that we all met each other as slaves. Now, Ataraxia is not the first captain I've openly defied. So, okay. Also, Meredith's not the first person I trusted foolishly. For all I know, trusting you is foolish. I mean, what are you going to do, man? Like, you got to make calls, and you got to trust the calls that you make, and I make bad calls, probably more than most. So
you agree you have bad judgment?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How's your judgment? Like, how you feel about every decision you made to lead you to where you are right now? Like, was it always the dice, or did Max make some bum calls that got him stuck in a hold as a slave? Are you exactly where you wanted to be, where you intended to be, my friend? And if you think you're not culpable like I am, oh boy, then you have bigger lies to deal with than the one you told to the council.
You're good at talking, convincing others, even yourself, of things. It's not my call.
I think it is.
No.
You got your finger on the trigger. You say it's not your call what happens to me right now, that's another lie. You have all power here, man. You set me free. You chose to set me free. You go ask the captain what he wants you to do. We both know what he's going to want you to do.
You know, Buster, when we first started this venture, I thought we were going to be good friends.
I don't see why we can't be.
'Cause I hate you. You point out the flaws in everybody else, but yet somehow with your words, convince yourself and others that yours are not as bad, or just even par. And he's getting emotional and mad, but also like sad, like really sad. We're all here because we don't have a home. The captain's an orphan. He's looking for his home. Ignis's home is in her god. Wherever that path can lead her, which she's trying to find. I can't go home. You have a home and chose to leave it. You left loved ones, family, for your own whims and pleasures. Because you got bored, apparently. This, and he's like waving the scarf, this shows that. And you left it for yourself. I know I'm a flawed person, but you are a coward. A coward doesn't just run from a fight. A coward runs from something that they love. And I really, really don't like that about you.
That makes two of us, man.
There's this beat in the conversation, the wind rustling Buster's hair all over, and just the salt breeze just wafting up, and the slow, methodical splashing of the waves as the cedar swarm just crashes slowly into and down from each wave. Both of you just lock eyes with each other, just not breaking eye contact. And Buster completely tied up, and Max holding onto Buster's scarf. Both of you saying the same thing. You let this beat in this moment just sort of like live and rest between the two of you.
Max will put up his crossbow, take the scarf, as Buster's still tied up, and very gingerly and very like respectfully tie it back around his neck, putting it just as it was. And then he'll take out his scimitar, which he never uses, and he will cut the ropes And he will use all of his first level spells and cast Cure Wounds 3 more times on Buster.
All right.
And Buster is going to keep his mouth shut during all of this.
That's like 18 hit points.
Okay, that puts me at 21, I think.
Yeah, I had 4 originally, and now 18. Yeah, 22.
22.
So you're almost
8 away from full. Yeah, about as good as I could expect.
Wizards are squishy.
And he'll say, well, no, he won't say anything. He'll just do that, kind of look and stare at Buster, do his little lizard blink, as lizards do, and kind of just turn around and just start his watch.
Buster's definitely going to stretch, especially his fingers, and just kind of look around. I mean, if Max is going to stay up there, Buster's going to leave.
Yeah, and he is. So you can easily start climbing down.
As he's like starting to kind of climb over, he's going to go, Buster,
He'll stop.
if you ever openly defy the captain again, I will not hesitate to rip you limb from limb.
Start with the head, please.
It's good advice. Generally, that's
Buster's already started moving down.
what I do start.
And Max just has this
He's kinda
conversation
talking
with
to
himself like,
I usually start with the head. I mean, that's the most vulnerable spot on a person.
Buster's like, that might happen, and I'd rather just die first than be limb from limb.
Given how long this conversation has taken, would it be possible for Buster to turn to leave the crow's nest and Ataraxia is looking at him in the face?
oh yeah. Anything that Ataraxia and Ignis want to do during this whole bout? Ignis, you just going around your rounds, or Ataraxia, are you doing that as well?
Ignis will be in the captain's quarters praying after she left, because Ataraxia went to go hide the heart somewhere where she was not allowed to go follow him and find out where the stupid places were. So she's going to
That's
sit down
right,
and pray.
Mickey. You can try. You can certainly try.
So Ignis will spend some time praying while Ataraxia leaves to go talk to Buster.
So it's like Buster gets to the bottom of the the ladder leading up to the crow's nest, and you're saying like when he steps off to turn around, Ataraxia's just right there.
Oh, I was thinking like when you turn around to leave the crow's nest to climb down. I went and
Already up at the crow's nest.
yeah, I dropped off the thing in the secret location that Rickety Hake told me about, and I get back up to the deck and I see something going up in the crow's nest because I have an 18 passive perception.
So, Buster's not in the infirmary. I wonder what's why that.
I cured his infirmities.
Buster wasn't awake for any of that, so he has he's not part of that conversation.
Yeah, you turn around, see Ataraxia, and I just go, dang, I didn't know the infirmary was up in the crow's nest these days.
And it was interesting. As you, the way I imagine the crow's nest is, you're just climbing like straight up and like almost into the middle of the crow's nest, right? So like Buster, as you go to put your foot down, Ataraxia, like you kind of like accidentally like gently poke one of his horns and like a little lightning shock, like, and then you're like, yes, and then you and Ataraxia are right there face to face with one another.
Boy, this would be the worst time for a big strike of lightning.
Sure would. Fortunately, the one who I think is most likely to try and call down lightning from a deity is currently praying. Though, who knows, maybe she's praying for lightning.
For lightning.
Please, Rotera, strike those 3 idiots.
Make me the captain. Make me the captain alone. Yeah.
If it be thy will.
And I look between the two of them up here in the crow's nest and I say, now, I personally don't care so much whether either of you disobey my direct orders. I have you guys.
Wait, are you in the crow's nest or at the
Oh
bottom?
no, he's at
We're
the top.
Oh, I thought you were at the bottom. Okay, I was just like tuning out. No. Okay.
So apparently Ataraxia like heard our tete-a-tete there, or like our.
Just the
Gotcha.
last
Okay,
little
I thought
bit.
he was at the bottom of it. My bad.
Yeah, I don't care whether either of you disobey my direct orders. I have the 3 of you to enforce that for the rest of the crew, but I trust you 3. Listen, we're all messed up. Raise your hand if you're messed up. And I raise my hand.
Buster raises his hand.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I don't trust you guys. Sometimes we get cursed. Sometimes fate has things that it throws in our way that we're not expecting. But I still believe in the mission of this crew.
Buster, keep his mouth shut. He's done. He shouldn't be asking more questions at this point.
I believe in the mission of this crew. I believe in each of you and your intentions to try and make things work out, even if they're difficult sometimes.
That is why you are the captain. Captain, I don't think any of the rest of us could make that call.
And that is why you all are my advisors. I can't kill people. You guys can. I just really hope you don't kill each other.
Me too.
If I did, though, I would start with the head.
Buster will stop. Buster will stop. Get away from the ladder. Go over and put a hand on Max's shoulder and says, "I know you would, Max. Good man."
I would.
I know. I listen.
I'm a professional.
Yes. I can't tell you. It actually means a lot to me. Okay. Yeah, Cap. We're good. I feel terrible, and the wind up here sucks. So I'm gonna get off of the crow's nest.
Well, you can feel terrible for both of us, I suppose, and I'll pat you on the knee and crawl out of the ladder so that you can go down.
Aww.
Oh, Buster makes his way to the
He'll
bottom.
say, "Aye, Captain," as he continues down.
But don't feel too terrible for too long. I just talked with Fish Guts while I was down there. He's actually making a pizza this time.
We should have cheese, finally.
Goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
Hey.
Frantically looking to see if goat cheese is possible within 1 day of obtaining a goat.
It's not 1 day, but it's faster than you'd think as well.
Yeah, it's been a week. We've been on sale for a week.
No,
haven't we?
it's been
because
three-
he's talked.
Nope.
No,
I thought it had been a week as well. For some reason, my brain had thought we'd been at sea for a week.
It's been one full 24-hour period.
I thought we had established. That's why Buster has
That's what I thought that as well, but then I realized that we apparently it had only been a short period of time. I thought a longer period of time had passed, but that was my
It just
my mistake.
makes the deep impact even more troubling.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, either way, fresh mozzarella, you can make that in 1 day. You get good milk, same day you've got mozzarella.
There you go.
Boom. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know
it's
if
4
goat
days
milk
from
mozzarella.
Goat's Head to Tidewater. It's only 4 days, and we've only been sailing.
Okay, gotcha.
Cheers.
And after Buster departs, I'll look at Max and be like, hey, I meant what I said. I still trust all you guys.
I don't. But again, that's why you're the captain.
Do you need me to take that whatever crazy magic thing from you? Choice is yours.
If you order it, I will hand it over. But I don't want to lose the possibility it could give me.
Hey man, only thing I'm looking to order right now is an extra large slice from Fish Guts.
Oh, of pizza. Yes. Okay. I got it. I missed the cue.
Let me tell you, man, I'm so glad that we have a cook who knows how to make Feywild food. It's the best.
And with that, unless there's any other urgent conversations that would like to have been had, the evening ends with a good old
Pizza party.
pretty good boss throws a pizza party, man. The captain throws a pizza party.
Pizza Friday.
We're gonna have a lock-in, guys. We're gonna do
Yeah.
a lock-in
on a
and-
ship.
Oh man, I have my kalimba and I'm playing System of a Down. Pepperoni and green what is it? Pepperoni and green peppers, mushrooms, olive chives.
And as there's a bunch of conversation going around with you were finding out other names of the crew members here. Ataraxia is introducing them to all of you, the Captain's Council. So in addition to Glenn Livet and Jorge Donata.
Hold on. I need to. If I don't take notes, it didn't happen. For me, I have true Buster brain. So
Well, we've got Beret and his best friend Lefroig, and we'll go easy with this one. We've got
Muscles.
Muscles. Yeah, we can't forget about Muscles. Thomas is there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. Yeah,
He's the poop deck guy.
Yeah, for sure.
just the poop deck. That's
Just
me.
cleaning up everyone's messes.
Yep. Just
Accurate.
all right. Hey guys.
what do Beret and Lefroig do?
Beret and Lefroig, they're mostly in charge of making sure that the ballistas are in good working order.
Okay.
There you go.
So Max, you are like, I just never knew their names.
It was Ballista 1 and Ballista 2.
It was.
And Muscles, he operates the crow's nest interchangeably
Yes. With Max.
with
Yep.
Max. Okay.
Yeah. So Max is like, I guess I should learn the names of all these people I've been working with.
Freud and Beretta. Okay. Just totally already messed it up.
Anyone else? Is that all?
That's it for right now. And after Fish Guts throws over some of the perishables or the rotten perishables over the side, the night closes on the four of you and the crew of the Satyr's Song. And you go to sleep. But as you go to sleep, I need everybody to roll me a d6, please.
Oh boy. I'm glad it wasn't a wisdom saving throw and we're all still cursed by that heart.
We're not all still cursed.
Just Buster.
Well, I got a 3.
I got a 3-2.
2.
I got a 4.
A 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4.
Perfectly average.
There we go. The next morning, you wake up, and it is a new day. Buster, you have regained all of your hit points and your spell slots. You do still feel that cold pit in your chest. It's a little less today, but you do still feel it, and you do feel kind of like this nagging to, like... You feel this nagging to go seek Meredith, but logically you know, and even like emotionally, you're like, that's a bad idea. Like I don't want to do that, but I still feel the nagging of it, right? That's kind of just like the essence of the curse, and to the point where it's kind of like all in the back of your mind. And so you're like, dang it. All right, this is part of me for right now.
I think in a strange way, it's fairly easy for Buster to embrace that. He's lived with a constant state of like being very dissatisfied with himself as a person, and so I think in this way, that kind of like resigning yourself to just being in a state of discomfort or of, you know what I mean? It's almost like he kind of like feels like he deserves it to some degree. So it's like kind of I think he wakes up and can feel the desire to still go back and find her and hunt her down, like, and can quiet it fairly easily as just like a part of his own personal penance of living.
Yep, fair. And so as this is the ongoing feeling of you, Buster, and the rest of the crew, there is not anything to report until you get about maybe 12 to 20 hours away from your destination here. Are there any conversations you'd like to have as you approach your destination?
Ignis watching Buster, especially because Ignis is normally up on the deck near the helm, can see she doesn't understand a lot of people. She doesn't understand a lot of social nuances with people, but there is something in the look of Buster and that desire to have something or connect with someone that he can't, that resonates with an Ignis. She recognizes that look as something that she has experienced. And so she goes up as we're just sailing along in the day, probably mid-afternoon. She's had a lot of time since last night where she was praying and thinking, and then at the pizza party, and then recognizing that he's struggling. So she steps up next to him, her back straight, her hands, at parade rest behind her. And as they're watching the waves, she just says, "You want to find her, don't you? You miss her."
Yeah. I mean, I miss the idea of her, And he kind of reaches to like kind of grabs his scarf a little bit around where like the heart used to be. Like really not even thinking about it. Very just like unconsciously. Sorry, by the way, for the trouble, we haven't talked, but I was stupid, so yeah.
Seeing him reach for the bag that's no longer there really deeply hurts something else within Ignis. She recognizes that. But she brushes it off because she can't go there. She's not supposed to go there. And so as he's apologizing, she recognizes the other thing that was bothering her. And so without looking at him, still watching the waves out in front, she says, I was ordered to take that heart from you. The captain gave me a direct order. And you were just sitting there with the goats. I could have taken it. So why didn't I?
I think Buster was paying very little attention to her. Like, I don't think because he is kind of in his own head a little bit. And so those emotions she went through, like at his response, I think he totally missed it. And so when she says that, it kind of catches him off guard. He goes, I don't know. That kind of like he looks at her for the first time and he goes, I'm glad you didn't.
She'll look at him. Why?
I think, I don't know. I think ever since you were about to kick all those guys off the boat after we mutinied, you know, I got a sweet spot for you, Ignis. I think you're a pretty, like, dang good pirate. And I respect you, surprisingly. And I don't know. The idea of you beating me up puts a bad taste in my mouth. Feels like I did something wrong, but I'm glad we didn't come to blows.
Ignis will return to looking out at the waves in the direction that they're sailing. But I was trained to follow orders, direct orders. I don't understand why I couldn't follow through with this order. Why did I tell you to go talk to the captain? It's been bugging me since last night. I just don't understand.
To be completely honest, Ignis, you're not going to find answers here. I got nothing but questions, and I'm kind of at the point in my life where I'm not even really looking for answers myself anymore.
Buster, if he notices, sees a look of disappointment flash across her face for just a moment, and then it slams shut back into that solemn soldier that she has to be, because she was really desperately looking for answers to understand the emotions and the actions that she was taking. And she just solemnly nods, and she'll find some reason on the ship to walk away. She sees something and then, makes a show of like, well, helmsman, and will stalk away after whatever that task is.
Could he say something really quick?
Yeah.
He kind of stomped his foot a little bit, just kind of like,
She stops and turns.
I think sometimes we forget that we're responsible for anything we do, It doesn't matter who gave you the orders. Captain, a god, fate. The things we do are things we did,
She thinks about that for a moment, and then remembering the main reason that she'd come to talk to him in the first place, says, we've all lost people. It's hard to give up somebody that we care about. And then she'll turn and go.
The destination is fast approaching, and Tidewater Rock is near. And as you are all dwelling upon what to do, Sandara is actually out on the deck with her brand fancy new sword, and she's actually running a few of the pirates through some basic paces. Again, everybody mutinied from being a slave, and not everybody was a pirate beforehand. Not everybody was a fighter. Not everybody knows or chose this life before, but now some have chosen that life, and they'd like to be able to know how to stab a sword in the right direction. So Sandara is looking to Glenlivet in particular and going, hi, Glenn, yes, but you gotta stab and really lean into it like this. And as she stabs close to him, he kind of like shuttles back a little bit and goes, oh, and just sort of like catches his breath there as she's like brandishing her new sword as it's glittering in the light. Ataraxia, you're overseeing this, just being the biggest congregation of the crew currently abiding, going, hey, Captain, what do you think of these fellas here? You think they'll ever know how to stand up for their own?
Well, we already saw them stand for their own when we fought against those Chilaxians, so I think we're off to a good start.
Aye, they did that, Captain. A mighty fine crew, if I don't say so myself. And this one right here, he might be a little bit green around the ears as she playfully, jabs Glenn with her fist, not her sword, and goes, but I think we can make a fine pirate out of him soon enough.
Well, I mean, we better have some good pirates if we're going to try and break the Tidewater Rock. I still don't entirely know what it means to break the Tidewater Rock, but Rickety Hake sure was keen on using that phrase.
Aye, hey,
Crack the
lads,
Tidewater Rock?
back.
Which one was it?
Back at it, lads, as she dismisses them real quick and sheathes her sword. She goes, aye, Captain, if you have any questions, I can do my best to be answering them for you.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know Remove Curse, would you?
Aye, I could have it be upon me with Besmar's gift. Afraid not today, of course, but tomorrow. Aye.
I should have asked you that a couple days ago. Yeah, if you could prepare Remove Curse tomorrow, I think Buster would really appreciate
just
that.
letting Buster sit in this feeling, and he's like, he needs more time.
Buster found himself with a bad banshee, has he?
He has, in fact. Have we talked? We haven't talked with Sandara about the heart yet.
She
have
met
we?
the heart. She did.
She met the heart. She did, yeah. Okay.
Aye. A bit of evil vibing off of that one, eh?
Very much so, yeah.
Well, all right. Aye, tomorrow I'll ask Besmara, pretty please, for that spell to help old Long Ears over there.
That would be so cool of you.
Aye, but Tidewater Rock, yes. Aye. You not be knowing where we're going then? What it is? What it be having? Just that it'd be a mighty fine achievement to accomplish, eh?
Here's what I know, and I've been ruffling through my scrolls. Here's what I know. Good fortune and sure sail await one what crack the Tidewater Rock. That's what Rickety Hake said, and that's it.
So that be it? Alright. Well, I do believe a lesson being turned then here. Let's sit her down then, Captain.
Booyah.
As she sits on down, and she gives you a little bit of a history about what Tidewater Rock is. It's a location. It's actually a large fortress, which could be viewed as a lighthouse, just like a large lighthouse, repurposed to be essentially a stronghold in the Shackles. As we know, the Shackles is if you will, an archipelago.
Correct.
An archipelago of islands?
And as this archipelago of islands
On the water.
Oh.
in the sea,
Not on land. Okay.
as there are a lot of disparate islands that some are inhabited or some are secretly inhabited. We just don't know. There aren't a lot of strong foundations to choose from, and therefore it's usually the swiftest pirate. Well, this happens to be a foundation, or rather a stronghold in the Shackles. This is in the south to southwest of the Shackles, and from what you can gather, this stronghold has been exchanged hands a number of times, but we're talking about like within the past couple hundreds of years. It's not like every few months somebody takes this over and over and over. And so the current occupant / owner of this is Miss Augusta Smythe, and she has the title Lady of the Rock. Now, Augusta Smythe, she is actually a widow of a very famous free captain, Iron Bert Smythe, who met an unfortunate end some years back, and so she has been maintaining Tidewater Rock. And the reason why Rickety Hake mentioned that taking Tidewater Rock would be a great act for a free captain, just because it is so naturally well defended. It is very difficult to sneak up on them, to overwhelm their defenses. There is a little cove outside where from the fortress you can naturally see most ships that are going to be approaching, and so you can prepare yourself quite sufficiently, and it's on the high ground, so there's just a lot to defend against attackers and intruders. So this would truly be a feat for a new free captain. For one that's maybe more established or that's been around for decades, maybe not as impressive, maybe just another notch in their belt. But that's why this could really get your name out and be a great act of infamy. So it'd be a good choice, Captain, if this be a position you still be set on.
Okay, this is good to know. My captain's counsel, who also was here and heard all of that.
We're all like behind barrels or, huh?
Like all three of our heads like out the door. Boop, boop, boop.
Three Stooge style.
Yeah, so there are currently like 2 main routes that we could go with this. Well, I guess 3 main routes. Okay, first one is like the just full-on assault. We just show up, guns blazing, try and take it. Second option would be a more diplomatic approach, though I don't necessarily think they would be super happy about us coming in and being all like, hey, would you like to give command of your island to a 13-year-old and his friends? The other option that's coming to mind is we have most of the crew distract them with the satyr song while we hop into the silvery barb under cloak of night and try and infiltrate our way in.
That's hard because I feel like my character wants to do something vastly different than I as a player wants to do.
Well, counsel away.
Do you,
Counsel with yourself, Mickey.
Just to like be clear, we're certain we want to do this.
it would be a good idea. I mostly just came here because I thought the name was cool because Rickety Hate kept saying it.
Yep, there's the name thing.
Well, if our point is to get to infamy and we're trying to make a name for ourselves and taking Tidewater Rock is part of that, crossbows ablazing.
Sandara, question. This current ruler of the rock, what is her reputation? Is she more on the lines of our kind of free captain, or more on the lines of a Harrigan kind of captain?
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to find many free captains as brutal and sadistic as Harrigan. But I'd also say that you'd be hard-pressed to find a free captain as loving and free-spirited as our current leadership here.
That's why he's my nemesis.
Aye, opposites in all things. The Geeky Man is going to do some quick reading.
I feel like I suddenly put together that Ataraxia might just have maybe read 1 or 2 too many comic scrolls and now feels like he needs to take down Harriman just be Harrigan because he's a nemesis and he views himself as a hero
My
and he needs to
nemesis.
take down the bad guy.
He's my nemesis. I'm gonna get him.
Buster continuing to be like a somewhat of a voice of dissent without being too forcible with his opinion. He'll say, now, what happens to our reputation if we fail big time?
Well, if we fail big time, chances are we're not a crew anymore.
I just be piping in here. There'd be a few crews who be attempting this, and it was 1 or 2 ways. Either you never heard of the free captains in the first place, and you never heard of them again, and they joined other free captains who had more infamy and consolidated the powers would be with them. But there'd be a few that went and tried other avenues, and you still heard of them before. It just was a loss in their belt they had to work to overcome. And then you have the ones where they just died upon assault, and then Tidewater Rock got the infamy as a result.
Do we have more facts about her reputation?
Still looking.
I mean, we have a 4th option here that has been presented. Go find something else to do.
Well, it comes down to if you think that we're ready for it. If we're the strongest, we should take over Tidewater Rock. Captain, if you don't think we're ready for it, we don't deserve that title.
Well, and Captain, there is a 5th option, potentially, depending on what the geeky man in the corner tells us about her reputation. If she has a reputation of not just infamy, but brutality, I mean, we could do to her what we did to Harrigan's ship. Turn the tide from the inside.
Ooh, that rhymes.
Does, and you do like a rhyme.
Very much so. Okay, 5th idea. Does anybody have a 6th idea?
Can we create contingency plans.
Yeah.
Max,
Yes.
I'm able to share information. Sandera goes, yes, sorry, had to reference some timely scrolls there in the corner as she's like shoving them under a pillow. Miss Lady of the Rock, she do be a fierce woman, being able to hold on to Tidewater Rock after all these years. But she treats her crew fair, and she treats her land fairly as well. And she has had some loss, not only of her husband, but in some of the surrounding areas that they had in the past. But she do be fierce in battle, and if he'll be taking what's hers, she's not going to go down without a fight.
Gotcha.
Is she friendly with Harrigan?
She quickly refers to her Scrollopedia. I don't seem to be having that information on hand. We probably would have to be asking her.
So I got 2 thoughts, and that's all I'll add. Whatever decision's made. He looks at Max. Aye. I will say aye. First thought. If eventually we want to take down Harrigan, the Tidewater Rock is a staging ground to, like, hold our forces, gather forces, and rally people would be a good rally point. A place to gather strength where Harrigan couldn't very quickly steal it from us.
A home harbor.
Yeah. My second thought is, I'm for trying to crack it, right? But I don't want to bet more than we're willing to lose.
Another thought has just come to me based off what you said. If we want to try and set down some roots right now, that kind of limits our ability to continue exploring a little bit. Because we have to make sure that we have people behind to run the Tidewater Rock while other people are out doing the exploring. We're kind of like splitting up our workforce in that way. Are we ready to move in together is like, I guess the question.
Could we just be taking Tidewater Rock for all of its riches and leave it to a ruin?
That's true.
That's the first thing Zendara has ever said that Ignis is like, what? I agree
But
with
Zendara, if we leave it to ruin, isn't it still like we would have to ruin it, like destroy the rock entirely. Otherwise, we'd leave a fortified position open to whoever came along to just snag it.
She sort of like shrugs and she goes, have none of you ever been working on some booby traps then? And setting up, leaving behind a guard or two to take it over and essentially take a extended vacation, keep an eye out, and to monitor things from any incoming. If you've got a mighty fortification such as that, you don't have to leave that many people behind to be able to maintain it if it's planned right.
I mean, also, if we best her in battle, maybe we don't have to kill her. Instead, it's more of a recruitment. Maybe we can get her on our side after a conquest of championship. I don't know. Another idea.
I do be enjoying this brainstorming process. All of us going here, we got the juices flowing, and it's rare. I don't usually get to take part in this, but nice to see all of your brains at work.
Zendara, how comfortable are you with dying in action?
I'm pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I got that vibe. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Mm-hmm. Even if I'd be dying here, then all that's left for me on the other side is to continue on going with Besmara as me captain.
Great.
Of all the options we've discussed, I think 1 or 3 is best. The frontal attack,
Full-on assault or sneak in?
full-on assault, is a definite way to show infamy if we're able to achieve that. However, a lot of risk. The sneaking in method.
I think, can we do some reconnaissance maybe for either option? Can we send like an information, like gathering mission to like...
Oh, I like this. So we start out
Like a
with a late
diplomatic?
night. We could go
Not diplomatic.
either way. Yeah.
Just sneaky.
Just sneak in and reconnaissance. Okay.
Yeah, we send out the silvery barb. We just kind of scope things out. And then maybe we start doing like guerrilla tactics kind of stuff. Like they wake up the next morning and what's that? Agustus Smythe is just dead.
Whoa, that's...
I do feel like we are woefully out of information. Like we're outclassed on information entirely. And if we any more knowledge we can gain about the defenses they have, the amount of people they have manning those defenses, if they have any blind spots, basic tactical stuff.
So option 3, is that what you're saying, Buster?
Like a soft option 3.
Kind of more of
Like a soft 3.
not distraction, reconnaissance, and then decide.
With an intention of doing a 1, Like we kind of soft 3, hard 1.
Captain?
I like the idea of gathering information first and foremost, and then after that we decide, okay, we're going to start with a soft 3 with the intention in moving into a hard 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
That's why you're the captain.
Booyah.
And with the soft 3 decided, Sandara by their side, and with the crew getting prepped to take the silvery barb to go in for reconnaissance, that is where we're going to end this week's episode of I Cast Fireball.
Oh boy. Time to do sneaky stuff. Oh boy.
We better all get as comfortable as Sandara is with the thought of death.
I have great stealth
might not
with
make it back from this
disadvantage
trip.
on it, so
When she goes, I think this is a great idea. I started going like, how comfortable is she with dying on in duty?
She might not come back. It's fine.
She'll not come back because Ignis will push her off of the cliff and be like, oh no, oh my
she
gosh,
drowned.
this
I don't know how
plus
that
3
happened.
magic
She's
sword.
so scared.
She kinda wanted to live
Well, I mean, we were just talking the other day about how all of us have terrible strength but pretty good dexterity, so...
True.
There we go. Oh man, well, what's gonna happen to Sandara in this hard 3 or soft 3 and a hard 1 through 5? You'll have to find out on a future episode of I Cast Fireball. As always, Josh, Jacob, Mickey, Ned, thank you for playing. Listeners, thank you for joining. You help us go forward and just find out what's going to happen next. And we will eternally be grateful for you for that. If you want to hear a little bit more from the fans, you can shoot us a message at icastfireball2020@gmail.com or shoot us a message at our Instagram or our Facebook and even our YouTube channel at icastfireball20. We want to shout out 2 people today who they reached out to us via email. The first one being Juniper. Juniper said as they rifled through their podcast recommendations, they found I Cast Fireball and was intrigued to see it, and now have listened to up to episode 50 in 3 weeks. Wow. The speed at which you all listen to I Cast Fireball is astounding. It floors me every time I hear how fast you're able to go through these episodes. They love the quirky characters and how Fleeple can go from innocent to harmful. Immolation Baby, episode 1 there, and Lance, his deep backstory, and Mal, an intriguing backstory which they want to know more. Juniper, you'll have already finished all of season 1 by the time you listen to this, but you just wait. You past Juniper, you just wait. They want to make fan art. And where can they post it for you? Fan art can be posted tagging all of our social medias at icastfireball20. You can also shoot it to us in an email, and then we can blast it out to our social medias and share it with our patron-exclusive Discord members as well. So feel free to send it on our way or just start posting it on social media as well. And Juniper, as you're now in the future listening to this, if you haven't figured out already, we've also got a whole channel in our Discord where it's fan art, where we're constantly getting fan art given to us. We're recording this around October, so we're seeing some really cool ICF-inspired Halloween costumes, which is mind-blowing. It's really cool. It's really fun, and it is really exciting. So, yeah, you could join our patron-exclusive Discord as well. We also want to shout out Cody, who sent in a Crunch Squad request. They love the show, and they finally found a family-friendly podcast. The other one they had found before us was Make Believe Heroes. Shout out to Make Believe Heroes if you need another family-friendly podcast. And they started to lose hope of finding another, but they found us, ICF, and they're on episode 70. and they are asking to do a Crunch Squad request for a Tempest Domain Cleric. Ooh, very fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list. We don't have any clerics currently in the campaign, but maybe we'll get to it. We shall see.
Maybe Sandara will join you for a Crunch Squad that week, and then we can talk about Tempest Domain.
A Thomas Ned Crunch Squad.
If she can survive these 1 through 5, 6 options, we'll maybe she can join us there for
Does
a
that
Crunch
mean that
Squad.
Sandara is officially now a Tempest cleric?
You know what? She may have to be. We'll have to see how it goes. But Cody, thank you so much for reaching out. And if you want to get shouted out, shoot us a message, and we'd love to shout you out here. Also, shout outs. We've got Improv Tabletop. They have their ongoing Fate Accelerated campaigns going on. It's fantastic. They're fun. They're crunchy, and you need to go listen to them, because when I say crunch, I mean crunchy in content. They are so delicious, and you just want to eat them up. So don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we've had
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon,
Maximus Shuns,
Ataraxia Kalian,
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.